have a question.
تفضلوا. أيوة. We're taking the questions from the sisters first.
And the question that's not related to marriage.
Okay.
But talking about naming a masjid. And of course, there's some sort of feminist inclination, I think.
Allah.
Can we name a masjid Masjid al-Nisa?
Barakallahu feekum. You got the camera on?
Yes.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man wala. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Amma ba'd. The question is asked, can you name a masjid Masjid al-Nisa? يعني العلماء اختلفوا في هذه المسألة حسب ماذا قضية والنية ولكل قول مقام. The ulama, they differ, believe it or not, when it comes to this issue. The ulama, they have something to say about this issue. Two different opinions, two different statements that I know of, and it depends on the reason why and what is going to be done with regards to naming a masjid. They said if it's names like the prophets and messengers, and you're doing it to commemorate that prophet, or they use the proof that the Prophet ﷺ said, Masjidi, my masjid, then in the Arabic language, the ya yudif al-mutakallam, the ya masjidi, D at the end, that means he said my masjid, which the meaning would be, what is the name of the masjid? If it says masjid, Masjid Nabawi. So that is a proof that you can name a masjid after yourself or after a prophet, if it is to commemorate it or to copy the way of Muhammad bin Abdullah sallallahu. So if you want to name the masjid Masjid Ibrahim or Masjid Yani Isa ibn Maryam, then this is permissible. As for naming it names of people, they said it's permissible so as long as it is because those people were righteous and they were people that left something behind to commemorate. So if you were to say Masjid Bani Hashim, for example, or Masjid Bani Adam, the Bani here means a people in the tribe. Bani Quraysh, the tribe of Quraysh. Bani Hashim, all of this is relevant to good people, good lineage. Bani Adam, the human being. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَمَنْ قَتَلْ نَفْسَ بِغَيْرِ نَفْسٍ أَوْ فَسَادٍ فَكَأَنَّهُ قَتَلَ النَّاسِ مَاذَا جَمِيعًا. Whoever saves a life. After he said, whoever kills a soul without the right to do so, Allah Tabaraka wa ta'ala came back and he said, whoever kills that soul, murders a person, then he goes also and does other crimes in society, it's as if he has killed the whole humanity. So naming the masjid Bani Adam, this is a lofty thing. وَلَقَدْ كَرَمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ وَلَقَدْ كَرَمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ وَفَضَّلْنَا ماذا؟ ولقد كرمنا بني آدم وفضلناهم في البر ولقد كرمنا بني آدم وفضلناهم وحملناهم في البر والبحر. جزاكم الله خير. And this, by the way, I'm quoting the ayat, I forgot it. Many of the ulama do this when you watch the dars on the YouTube or you listen to the audio. If it's people who are the students in the masjid know Quran, then they help the sheikh. And the sheikh might stop and say, what's the rest of it? And they help them. This is a lofty thing in the religion. This is a beautiful thing. And this should encourage the people to hold fast to learning the Quran. The point is, Allah said in the meaning in English, and indeed we have honored the people, the human being, Bani Adam, the offsprings and the descendants of Adam, humans. And we have made it a way that they are carried and facilitated for on land and sea. What's the point? That in itself, if you said Masjid Bani Adam, is a lofty thing from the likes of these ayahs. What about you want to name the masjid Masjid Rijal, or Masjid Nisa, the masjid of the men, the masjid of the women? We're in Yemen. Fi Saada, we quoted the Damaj, for anybody who knows that history. Before the time of the Huthiyin, those who destroyed the whole country. Allahu musta'an. Wa nasal subhanahu wa ta'ala an ya'aqibahum. We ask Allah to punish them. And if there's somebody Houthi here, wallahi, so what? Anybody who destroys masajid, anybody who destroys drinking facilities, anybody who destroys schools with children in it, anybody who destroys land, infrastructure, kills innocent people, aqabahum Allah. Allah Azza wa Jalla is going to punish them, and we ask Allah to punish them. Ameen.
Ameen.
In this place when we lived and studied, the way the village was made, you had a masjid where the men prayed. No woman can get in that masjid because even that masjid was too little. They even extended it, made it bigger as more students came. So they were forced to make a masjid for the women, which they named it Masjid al-Nisa. Why? So that the man would go to that masjid and go in and pray while it's exclusively for women, because they couldn't make the masjid inclusive. It wasn't enough land to make the building big enough to fit the men and the women. So in that case, Masjid al-Nisa, it was proper, so that the women can go there where they would have their lesson every week. With the Shaikh would go there and teach, and he had his daughter, and of course they were learning from the Shaikh properly. But this was in the village where they could not make the masjid combined. The Prophet ﷺ in his time, the women prayed where? In the back of the masjid. Outside in a little room?
No.
How?
Open.
In the same masjid. So, if we were to, for example, put Masjid al-Rijal, the masjid of the men, that would indicate the meaning of that Mamnur al-Nisa. The meaning of the word Masjid al-Rijal, the masjid for men, would inclusively mean in Arabic, no women allowed. Likewise, Masjid al-Nisa would include, it would mean no men allowed. It's indicative in the meaning of the word, mudaf, mudaf ilayh. It shows relevancy and whose that masjid belongs to, as it relates to occupying and frequenting that masjid. So unless it's a situation like we were in Yemen, where we couldn't fit all of the women, and remember, these women lived in the same village. It wasn't like they came from somewhere and went to that masjid, it's the masjid of the women, and they went back home. No, they lived next door, around the corner, on the mountain, 2 houses over. They needed the masjid to pray when they wanted to pray, and the masjid to have the roofs. So, and so that's the only reason I know it's allowed to say Masjid al-Nisa. Even the masjid that was for the men, they didn't write Masjid al-Rijal. It was known the masjid is, for the men. But if a lady came when the masjid was empty and she wanted to pray, nobody would stop her, because the origin of the masjid is for who? Everybody. Man and women. No, it's not for mankind. It's for the Muslims. It's for the Muslims. Subhanahu wa ta'ala said, bow down with those who bow down. The origin of any verse that says bow down is talking about in the masjid. Now, so, for example, in America, it wouldn't be proper to name the masjid of the women, because that means the imama, the lady, has to be the one who leads the salat. She has to give the khutbah, no men allowed, and so on and so on. And that's not proper when we talk about ahkam al-masajid, the way that the masjid should be ran. وَلَكِنْ أَنَا حَصْ رُبَّمَا فِي شَيْءٍ يَدَافِعُ عَنِ النِّسَاءِ. But I got a feeling, I have a notion that what's inclusive in this question is that someone wants to defend the honor of the women. Then we say, we're with you. We defend the honor of the women. And then we say the women should be respected. We're with you. We say people shouldn't have bad outlook about the women, including the Muslims. We say that Muslims, the women, have a place in society. Then we say that yes, there is a lot of rectification and things that we need to do concerning this image of the Muslim woman. Women in general, but we're talking about the Muslim women. Because we have a special plight here outside of the issue of women in general. We have a special plight that we need to do and the thing that we need to protect and rectify. So if part of that issue is that, then we understand. But however, the scholars, they differ as it relates to should a lady, barakallahu fikum, call the iqama. Should the lady call the iqama? And this is talking about not in the masjid, in the house. Because no woman called the iqama in the masjid in the time of the Prophet. But women called the iqama when they were amongst themselves in the house. As for the adhan, then all of them agree that the lady should not call the adhan. Why? Because the adhan is to be said with a loud voice out in public, while the iqama is to be said in a lower voice inside of the masjid. So what's my point? There were a lot of issues when we talk about the etiquettes of a woman that we need to discuss. Granted, we're in America, we're in 2020 almost, 1441 on the Hijri calendar. But a lady, like the issue of Amina Wadud, back in 2008, she wanted to lead the salah in New York, give the khutbah, and they're talking about well, us, men. The lady, imagine the lady get up and say, Stawu tarasu. What's that going to do for all the men? Just imagine. Women are such a jewel, such a treasure, but they have described them as a temptation. And that's not their fault. Allah made them like that. They got that. But it wouldn't be proper for a lady to lead the salah. Likewise, if she gave the khutbah. Imagine a lady on the minbar and she's giving the khutbah. And boy, no, if she speaks some Arabic, the man is going to drool. She got a sexy voice. Oh, that's it. Man ain't got no wudu. He got to go make a stingy mouth and go make ghusl. So sexy and attractive. Yeah. Allah knows. But does that mean a lady can't be involved? Like the big debate, can ladies be in politics? The first thing they say, well, Aisha had an army. Hakada, you're right. Sahih. But does it mean it was right because she had an army? She's human. She's our mother. And did she go out and purposely recruit an army? Or did people evolve to that because they had to go to her to get certain knowledge about the Prophet that they couldn't go to and get from anybody else? So people going asking for fatwa, question answers, and then she just found herself, she's got an army, people behind her because she said, yeah, we're going to get the one who murdered Uthman. But she didn't purposely go out to be a leader. She knew her place. And if you have some power and money and knowledge, then we want it. We need it. Women have a role. But it doesn't mean that she has to be on the minbar. Neither does it mean she has to be in the closet, quiet, and can't speak. So there are issues we need to deal with on a balanced and just base. And inshallah wa ta'ala, I think there's room for us to come to that. And we should. It's an obligation. And if we make the measuring stick, what Allah and His Messenger said, the companions, and even if we look at modern day things, not go too far from the main way of the Muslims, then we'll be safe. We ask Allah to bless those women, to restore their honor, to bless them to know and learn their place in society and be effective. And we ask Allah to forgive all the ignorant men. If there's some ignorant men, the way they think and deal with the women, part of this is the problem. They have to prove themselves. Women liberation. Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billah. Tayyib. The hadith we want to mention, it's going to be just maybe 5 to 10 minutes. The Shaikh, he talked about in the book لا يخطب رجل على أخيه. That a man should not engage over his brother. A man should not engage over his brother. So the first thing they said, yani khutbah. Khitbah, pardon me. It said khitbah la, khitbah al-rajul ala akhi. A man shouldn't propose. So you have khutbah and khitbah. Khutbah and khitbah. Sometimes the brothers try to say khutbah, which is the sermon on Jumu'ah, or for Eid, they say khutbar. The khutbar. It's not khutbah, it's khutbah. 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 Everybody say khut. You're going to make your tongue touch the top and side of your teeth. Paw. Khut. 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 Khutbah. Khutbah. Sounds a lot better than khutbah, right? Then you have khit. If you change the dhamma in khutbah to khitbah, this means engagement. Same word, same letter, you just change the harakat from top to bottom. So khitbati yani ala akhihi la yajuz. A man can't go and engage or propose over his brother. That's the next thing the Shaikh mentioned. Why do you think the Shaikh mentioned that? Because the Prophet mentioned it because it was going on. So for example, there's a sister, her name, we're going to pick Aisha. And everybody knows Aisha is a pretty lady. She's educated. She's very smart. She's very charming. She has a good reputation. Her family is a good family. She has education and money. And everybody hears she's looking to get married. So you have Anwar. Do that because he's not married and not going to get him in trouble. So if I say his name, Anwar. You have Anwar. You have Ahmed. You have Zayd and Amr. So Zayd goes and he asks the wali, I'm interested in marrying Aisha. Then the wali doesn't answer. He said, we'll get back to you. Then Anwar, he goes next week, he says, I'm interested in marrying Aisha. The wali says, okay, give me your references, I'll check them out. Then Amr, he comes a month later. Is she still looking to get married? Is she still married? Is she still looking to get married? Or is she, married? He said, no, she's not married. He said, okay, I'm interested. The wali said, okay, I'm going out of town. I'll get back to you. And then who's the last one I said? Zayd. I said Zayd already. He said, Anwar, Zayd, and Amr. Ahmed. Then Ahmed, he goes 6 months later. Nobody heard anything from the wali. Zayd didn't hear anything. Anwar didn't hear anything. Neither did Umar. Ahmed, he goes 6 months later after all of them. And he asks the wali, I'm interested in marrying your daughter. And then he says, I'll get back to you. Is this in the hadith, engaging over your brother, what the Prophet means? No. It's not what he means. Because nobody gave a reply. The violation of making khitbah, engaging a rajul ala akhihi, over his brother, is when there's a reply. And the reply is either yes or no. So if it's a reply, you have to know what's the reply. If all of them were told no before Ahmed came, it's the same as Ahmed going and nobody asked but Ahmed. Because the answer has to be given, the agreement that they want to get married has to be known before that violation can be considered a violation. Now, there's a story, this comes in the hadith, where Jarir ibn Abdullah, Jarir ibn Abdullah from Yemen, during the time of Umar ibn Khattab, there was a lady, was Yemeni, very pretty. I'm talking about knocked down pretty. If you see her, in other words, she was so pretty you'll pass out. I'm talking about gorgeous. So Umar ibn Khattab, he went to Jarir. Like to say, let me go to Imam Hassan because, he know the people big. So Umar, he went to Jarir ibn Abdullah because he was Yemeni and the lady was Yemeni. They're in Medina. So he said, I'm interested in marrying that lady. Jarir ibn Abdullah said, Abshir. Who can tell me what Abshir means?
I get back to you.
No. Inshallah, I said I get back to you. Inshallah. What Abshir means?
Waiting for good news.
Hey, he said waiting for good news. You said I'll get back to you. In context, it means both. Abshir is like, I'll be glad to deliver the message. It also includes, and if they say something, I'll let you know. Then, after Umar ibn Khattab, you had Abdurrahman ibn Auf. Abdurrahman ibn Auf. Abdurrahman ibn Auf went to Jarir ibn Abdullah and said, I'm interested to marry that lady. Sister so-and-so, the lady from Yemen. Can you go and, give that message, find out, hook me up. What do you think Jarir ibn Abdullah said?
I'll see you in the morning, inshallah.
Said, Abshir. Said the same thing. Gladly. I'll let them know. And if they say something back, it's inclusive, I'll get back to you. Then Mughir ibn Shu'bah, radiyallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'in, all these companions, he went to Jarir ibn Abdullah, to Jarir, I'm interested in a lady. Go put in the word, tell her, man, woo. Jarir, he said, Abshir, gladly. Now that's three companions. Umar, Amir al-Mu'mineen, Abdurrahman ibn Auf, and Ibn Shurqa. Three of them. And from Salam, he said again in the Hadith of Bukhari, Muslim, others, it's not permissible for a brother, yani, Sallam, khidba rajul ala akhi. From Salam prohibit that the man engage over the top of a brother who's his Muslim brother's engagement. I'm engaged to somebody and they know it. You shouldn't go and say, I want to be, married to her. I'm interested. If it's known that you proposed, it's not enough. The issue is, did they accept and reply? If they accept and reply, then whoever comes on top of you and asks, prohibited. It violated your right as a Muslim brother. But just to ask is not enough. 20 guys can go and ask. As long as she don't say yea or nay, yes, naam, la, the wali don't say, okay, khalas, no harm. So Jarir was asked by Umar ibn Khattab, then Umar ibn Khattab, Abdurrahman ibn Auf, then Mughir ibn Shu'bah. So when he went back to the lady, he said, 3 people asked about you, and they proposed. How do we know that that is okay to do? 3 people to propose to a lady at the same time. Is it okay or not? How do we know this? Is it okay for all 3 of them to propose to that one lady? Umar, ibn Khattab, Rahman ibn Auf, and Mughir ibn Shu'bah. Did they do something wrong? No. According to the hadith?
No.
Why not?
Because there was no reply.
There was no reply. Was no reply.
Yes.
So, huh?
There is no yes.
No yes?
There is no reply as yes.
You didn't say yes, you didn't accept.
Hey, it said if they didn't reply, that'd be yes.
No, then
There's no acceptance of a proposal. Basically.
يعني سكوتها ليس مقام في هذه شيء. This clause, the statement of the prophet, her silence is her approval, doesn't apply here. Because number one, he had to go tell her first. Jarir was asked to ask the lady. They asked the lady through somebody. So until Jarir bin Abdullah tells her, she can't know. Okay, now Jarir says, Umar Khattab, he asked, Abdurrahman bin Auf, and Ibn Shubana asked, and then she never says nothing. That means she want to marry all three of them, according to this principle. Her silence is her approval. Is that what's meant? No. How about that? So when silence is her approval, sometimes it means that. It's just like a girl is not want to get married. Her father knows it. He keeps forcing her. Then somebody comes he really likes. He said, you know what? I'm going to make sure that you get my daughter. Just give me some time. So he goes, he talks to her, he buys her this, that, bargains with her. And then he says, you know what? I got to tell you. So-and-so wants to marry you. Now she was silent on all of these other people. This is a separate idea, separate example. But this particular guy, she bust out laughing. Now the father knows she doesn't want to get married. What do you think her laughter means?
Nope.
Means no?
Nope.
Her laughter means yeah?
No, I mean hell. You crazy?
It could be either one.
But keep it in context, she doesn't want to get married. People been coming. She doesn't want to get married. She told her father that she's not ready. Then somebody comes he really likes. He pushes the issue and then she laughs. Is her laugh a yes or a no?
Yes.
It's a no.
No.
Says you can't be serious.
Exactly.
Yeah. Her laugh is, heck no, you gotta be kidding me. Why? Because the origin of the issue, she spoke, she said, I don't want to get married. Shaykh Uthaymeen, he mentioned this too, that it could be the opposite way around. Somebody wants to marry, and we're talking about the bicker. We're not talking about a lady who's ever been married. Because part of the whole analogy is that she's never had experience with a man. She's not around boys. A real Islamic idea and environment, she doesn't know about the opposite sex like that. So she's kind of like, afraid or don't really know how to articulate it. That's what the Prophet said, her silence is her approval. But that's keeping in mind the father knows his daughter. He knows her mind state, that she wants to get married. He talked to her about it. She's ready. But now, when somebody comes, she's got cold what? Cold feet. So she can't say nothing. In this case, when the girl laughs, Shaykh Uthaymeen said, it could mean that she's saying yes, like blushing, or it could mean she's disagreeing, like, you gotta be kidding me. So based on the context, and knowing the daughter or the niece or the aunt, then that's how that coin should be understood. That's how that term or that action should be put in its context based on the knowledge that you know about that person and what they want and what they don't want. If we go back to this hadith or this author, the narration, when Jarir went to the lady, remember, Umar said, I want to marry her, then Abdurrahman ibn Auf, and then Mughir ibn Shurba. And none of them knew, by the way, that the other went. They just went like that. He said, 3 people interested in you. You want to marry. And this is permissible because when the lady came to the Prophet ﷺ, she said, Abi Sufyan and who else? Abi Sufyan and Muawiyah want to marry me. And Prophet ﷺ, he said, don't marry Abi Sufyan. Why? He beats. He said he won't put the stick off, his shoulder. Meaning he's going to beat you. He said, and as for Muawiyah, he's tight. He got money, but he acted like he broke. They said, Ankih, man, Osama. Osama bin Zayd, married Osama bin Zayd. The Prophet said, wait a minute, both of them proposed to you? Haram, la yajuz. It's not permissible for a man to propose over his brother. He didn't say that. Why? Because she didn't answer them. She went to get advice from the Prophet. She went to get advice from the Prophet. She never answered that. So it doesn't make a difference how many brothers ask. So as long as she don't reply and accept, it's no sin. The end of the story, and we're in. So Jarir, he said, Umar asked, Rahman ibn Auf asked, Mughir ibn Shuba asked. He said, 3 people want to engage to you. They ask about you. Umar ibn Khattab, Rahman ibn Auf, Mughir ibn Shuba, Wa'ana Rabi. And I'm the 4th one. He said, I'm the 4th one. And she accepted him and she married him. Wow. Yeah. Allahu Akbar. So the statement of Prophet that a man shouldn't propose over his brother means when that man asks, and A, it's known that he asked, B, they reply, C, and the reply is positive. Then, at that point, once it's known, it is prohibited for a man to go and ask to marry that lady. Now, any more questions and answers? I hope not. Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh. May Allah bless you all. Thank you all for coming out, participating. I'd like to thank Masjid administration, the community here, Kips, New York. Allah bless you all. Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.